Okay, hello and welcome to This is Culture. I am Claudia Nsono. Focus today is on the charity of African heads of states, which many people are beginning to say begins and ends abroad. Several African rulers have joined the world's wealthiest families in a fundraiser to rebuild the iconic 850-year-old Notre Dame cathedral in Paris, which was devastated by fire last Monday. But how do these African leaders react to similar projects geared towards preserving the continent's cultural heritage? UNESCO has made calls for the continent to restore and preserve the 11 medieval monolithic cave churches of the 13th century New Jerusalem, situated in the heart of Ethiopia. The historic dugout churches have been spoiled by rain, erosion, repairs and modifications. Yet UNESCO's calls seem to have fallen on deaf ears. The historic Kasubi tombs in Kampala were equally torched on March 16, 2010. Besides the Ugandan government and the Buganda Kingdom, UNESCO has received no support from African leaders for the reconstruction of the 137-year-old Kasubi tombs. So what accounts for the lukewarmness of African leaders towards measures to preserve the continent's heritage plagued with tragedies? Salah Khaled is the UNESCO Regional Director for Central Africa and joins us online from Cameroon's capital, Yaoundé. Hello, Salah, and welcome. Straight away, let us know what kinds of contributions you receive from African leaders.
Well, UNESCO gets a lot of support and contributions from leaders of African states. They bring several types of support to us. One of them is on the policy level, for example, technical level, financial level. Of course, we receive all of this, but a lot can be done, a lot more can be done.
And we saw some African leaders pledge to contribute financially to the reconstruction of the ravaged Notre Dame Cathedral. Based on your experience with these African leaders, do you think the response would have been the same had the very unfortunate incidents occurred at an African site?
Yes, definitely, yes. I'm convinced that we would have received the same support. Each member of this community, according to their abilities, they bring a stone to the building. We can recall that the army of Chad, for example, constituted the largest and most effective battalion during the security operation of Timbuktu. The restoration of the mausoleum, it could not have been done without the presence of this army. But I'm sure that everybody will commit if, God forbid, something like this happens.
Ivorian King Amon Dufo, the fifth of Queen Jabo, pledged to financially support to the reconstruction of Notre Dame Cathedral. Meanwhile, his country needs funding to preserve the 100 masterpieces it requested to be restituted from France in 2018. What do you make of this gesture?
Well, we should not neglect also the effort that is done by the African leaders in that direction. We are witnessing on the ground the commitment by some of those member states. We see a lot of efforts in building new museums, in building the expertise to manage all of this in their own countries. These are projects that UNESCO is working on with those governments, so we are witnessing firsthand. Of course, a lot more needs to be done.
One last question, Salah. So what's your office doing to better the situation?
The 5th of May will be the African World Heritage Day, which is also an opportunity to raise the awareness of both political leaders, communities, the people, students, the younger generations on the importance to celebrate the continent's unique cultural and natural heritage, the exceptional universal value, and the importance of all of this for the economies, and also to keep the heritage of the continent, the youth and the children. They should be the leaders of the next generations, so they should know the history and the heritage and how to preserve it. We have worked with a lot of those states on programs like Patrimonito. We have also the education curriculum on World Heritage in School, the World Heritage Volunteers Initiative, and World Heritage Youth Forum, which are main activities that we wish that all leaders on the African state could really support.
Thank you, Salah. That was Salah Khaled, UNESCO Regional Director for Central Africa. Well, the African World Heritage Day comes up on May 5. Do you think your government is doing enough to preserve your cultural heritage? You can let us know on Facebook and on Twitter at Claudia Nsono. A big thank you to you all for watching. Until next time, please do have a fantastic week.